are back for another episode of Get a Load of This from the Silver Creek Studios. I'm Jarod.
I am Ryan.
And we got a different setup. Things are a little different. Yeah. Not that any of our viewers would know, but we're kind of trying out some new things.
We don't have viewers anymore because we don't do video.
Right.
So
listeners, no video.
Only listeners.
Yeah. Ryan's sitting on a couch. He looks like Costanza
a little
on
bit.
The,
I feel, it's harder to hide my. Thank God the camera's not on. Right. Also, COVID has been bad to the belly. Well, good to the belly. I don't know.
A lot of curbside delivery.
I've been drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot of beer and eating a lot of chips and.
COVID's good for that.
I need to get my ass in shape though, because this is I got some weird shit going with my elbow. It's like I asked the wife, I'm like, "Hey, feel this?" And it's like my elbow's squishy. And she's like, "What are you fucking talking about?" So sure enough, she felt both of. She's like, "Yeah, that one's fucked up." And I'm like, "I don't know what it is. Doesn't hurt, nothing like that." She goes, "So WebMD, Dr. Tammy,
what does squishy elbow mean?"
Well, she's like, "Well, it could be because of gout." I'm like, "But it doesn't fucking hurt. With arthritis, it doesn't hurt." I was like, "I think I got a fat elbow." I don't think it's anything crazier than that. It's just, whatever. But, things that weren't there before COVID.
Well, we're also joined by my lovely wife. She's not on a mic, so you're probably not going to hear her, but we'll try to relay.
Yeah, she decides to chirp up.
If she makes any good points, we'll see.
She's probably exhausted, though, considering,
Well, we haven't brought this up yet. We haven't recorded in a long time.
Haven't recorded
but
since.
But kind of a lot has happened in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Couple months.
I'm carrying Jared's baby.
Yeah, somebody is. Ryan looks like he is. But how far along are you, Ryan?
Well, I don't know. I look bigger than her.
Yeah. Well, to put some background on it, 16 years ago, I had a vasectomy.
Allegedly.
Yeah. She saw it.
She says she's in the room.
It happened.
We have a witness.
I smelled the cauterizing.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
But, and it's all been good since then. No surprises, no slip-ups. Everything's gone according to plan for a decade and a half. And then suddenly it decided to reverse itself, and now...
See, I don't think it just snap of the finger. It does that.
Well, I don't know.
I think it has to be like a gradual thing. Anyway, we've never come right on. You're pregnant. You guys are pregnant.
Yeah. My wife's having a baby.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure it's mine.
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
She says she's 100%.
Well, I'll say this, that I've waited until I heard it from other people. Like, I heard it... People are like, "Did you hear?" And I'm like, yeah, I heard. And I'm not the type of person to be like, "Well, they told me first.
Right.
I knew before anybody." I'm not the type, but I waited to hear from through the grapevine, so to speak, before I said shit to anybody. And then I saw you posted something, and so I was like, okay, so it's safe. I can speak about this now.
We did tell family first and a select few friends.
I feel honored.
Ryan was very early in the discussion phase of all this, but we didn't tell people for a few weeks because we wanted to make sure everything was good and healthy.
The normal protocol.
We're getting a little older, and so there's more risk that comes along with that, and we wanted to make sure.
Considered geriatric.
Yeah, my wife is geriatric, and so
you look like it. You look ancient.
Yeah, but so far so good. Everything has tested out well up to this point. How far along are you? 12 weeks, which is kind of right at that next stage of when you can get those tests done, right? The genetic tests and all that, and the gender reveal and everything.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you guys are going to do that? You're going to figure out what the sex is and all that
stuff? Oh, yeah, for sure.
So which one of the 72 genders do you think, what are you hoping for?
I mean, it only really matters what you want to identify as. Yeah. I'm kind of going for Q, though. Maybe the plus sign. I don't know.
Right.
But, yeah.
That's funny.
So, yeah, it's definitely kind of hit us like a ton of bricks.
Well, yeah.
It was a major shock.
Well, I'll replay the night you guys told us that
was pretty funny,
I was in
actually.
disbelief. I was until even after my wife called So they texted us. Let's replay this. So they texted us and like, hey, you guys sitting down? Are you available? Whatever it was, something like that. Like, are you guys available? Over a group text with the four of us. Right? Yeah. It's like we wanted to talk to you. We want to talk to you about something. And I'm like, fuck, what did I do? I mean, I know I say a lot of things. I hope I didn't piss them off. So I specifically said, I'm like, am I in trouble? And you said, no, is Tammy around? And I said, and then she's like, am I in trouble? And then you just sent
Chuck in trouble.
Yeah, right. And then you just sent a picture of the ultrasound, which then immediately made my wife and I think that our child got your child pregnant.
Right. They instantly went to, which understandably so. They thought,
I don't know about that, but
well, you weren't the only ones. Let's put it that way.
It almost seemed more likely than.
Right. What's more likely, that our 17-year-old kids have been fooling 100%. Around, or that my vasectomy reversed itself? So I thought you were full of shit because remember you guys played some game, or no, you didn't play it. Your son and right. They played that game, like that weird social media game where you tell some fucking crazy lie.
And they said they were engaged.
Right.
That's immediately where I went. I'm like, they're playing that fucking game, and I'm like, this is no, I did not believe it at all. And even after my wife and you
and there was
talked.
Many texts exchanged where he made it clear he did not believe us. Yeah.
She just kept saying, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Tammy, stop it. Stop.
Well, you have created, anxiety with her. She's like, you need to go get your shit checked out.
I told him that he needs to have a podcast with a PSA to get it regularly.
Yeah. Public service announcement.
Guide you to do that, though.
They tell you to get it checked the first time.
Yeah.
We did.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that don't.
So, that don't go back for their follow-up?
Yeah.
They're like, we didn't go back. And I'm like, why?
I did the first one,
Sure.
I mean, but that's it. I haven't done anything.
You went
right.
You went back for the follow-up that said you're good.
Yeah. Don't do
right.
that.
That's crazy.
Friends that didn't.
Well, but also you didn't go to a urologist. So this is the thing that
you love to point that out.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
you're right. I didn't. It was. It was my general practitioner.
I don't talk about vasectomies with everybody that I know.
Yeah, right.
But everybody that I have talked about it with the exception of you.
Okay. I've known several people who've gone to the same guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we say his name? The doctor?
I don't think it was his fault. I'm excited to see.
But the other people
if
that
if it's a PSA, we should say his name, Dr. Pickett.
Right. So the other
Waterloo,
people that had
Illinois.
Pickett do it, have they been checked? Do you know any of them?
No, but they're freaking out right now.
Yeah, right.
They are.
I mean, this guy do it on a picnic table at Canarsic? What
Honestly, that was the thing. When I went in to ask him about it, it was to get a referral. Like, who should we go see about this? And he was like, oh, no, we do those here.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get my Bic lighter and my pocket
I've done
knife here.
hundreds of those. I was like, oh, really? I mean, okay, let's do it. Yeah, it's not like it failed after 6 months. 16 years.
He went in and had the test done.
Right.
It was good.
Clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And we have a lot of sex. So, I mean,
see, you got...
You heard it from him.
We used to have a lot of sex. Not so much anymore, but...
Yeah, but no.
Yeah. That's still my favorite. Whenever we were talking with Riley about it, and you were talking like that, and she was sitting right here, and she goes, I know what you did. Stop talking about it. I talk about that to everyone. I'm like, that's the funniest shit I've heard in a long time. It's not often that you get, a 17-year-old that their parents just got pregnant, and they have to kind of process all that, like, Jesus Christ. That night whenever I was trying to watch The Office and they kept fucking banging, God damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Hey, I bet you there's going to be I imagine there's going to be a lot,
But it definitely was culture shock. We were at that point of our youngest kid was almost out of high school. Our oldest is already out of the house.
Yeah.
Our
you guys were in the home stretch.
We were expecting grandkids.
Yeah.
Like, I kept thinking that was going to happen.
Yeah, we need to get her a microphone because I can imagine nobody can hear what she's saying.
We were preparing for grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's definitely been weird. Your body's changing.
She has a glow. It seems that she does have a glow.
Yeah.
Your hair looks shiny.
Yeah. You're just saying
so, all right. So, talk about gender again. So, like, what are you thinking? Like, No, you're definitely going to find out.
We are going to find out.
definitely
We
find
did on
out.
both our other kids.
Yeah.
We always find
You'll
out.
be able to plan ahead.
Yeah, I want to be ready.
The good news is either way you can name it Ryan, because Ryan is kind
true.
of
We already used that as a middle name.
Carter's middle
That's
name
right.
is Ryan.
So we can't. That would be weird.
right.
Well, so I don't really know, but based on symptoms and
Cravings.
sort of cravings, I haven't had I'm not like a weird. I need pickles and ice cream.
You eat weird shit to begin with.
I maybe
Even not
do
pregnant,
kind of,
you eat
but
weird shit.
just based on that kind of thing, like Carter, I craved more salty things, and with Riley, I just wanted chocolate all the time, like sweets. And so I feel like with this, I've been more wanting salty things.
Uh-oh.
But
So it's going to be a boy, is what you're saying.
but I don't. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
No,
funny.
I don't buy into that stuff.
No,
so
I don't really
whatever.
either. And it's not. I haven't had like the crazy cravings like I did with him,
Yeah.
because I just wanted hot dogs whenever.
But we're still early here, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, that's kind of how it was with him whenever I first got pregnant,
Right.
both the kids really. I was like, really just wanted those things, and then after a while, it was like
so it's full term 36 or 40 weeks? What is it?
40 is
40
like,
weeks?
yeah, full
And so you're at 13, 12, 13?
12 and a half
12 and a
ish.
half.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
So the end of next
Like
week will
3
be
months.
the end of the first trimester.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on what source you look at, I'm in the second trimester. Like my book says I'm in my second trimester,
I feel
but
like that shit should be kind of in stone.
yeah, that's what I thought
Right.
too.
There shouldn't be much wiggle room on
The,
that.
the app, one of the apps says next week you'll be in your second trimester. So I don't know.
Right. How many apps do you have tracking your pregnancy?
I have 2. Because that's a thing now. That's
Right.
not
It
something
didn't
that was
exist
a
last
thing.
time
But
for you, yeah.
I was shopping for breast pumps because you guys care about that stuff. But
Well, hey, you gotta have a good one.
apps for that now.
An app for a breast
Yeah,
pump?
so you can like keep track of how much you pumped and
Wow.
which side you pumped on, and it's
Wow.
crazy. Like nothing is
It's
the
like a
same.
Fitbit for your tits.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be a FitTit, I think.
FitTit.
we were talking to
Titbit.
Or is it a
something.
Titbit?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was talking to somebody about cribs because we were lucky enough someone gave us one, and I was like, "Oh shoot, the side doesn't go down. I don't know if I'll be able to because
Yeah,
I'm really short."
You are short, yes.
But apparently, that's a thing now. That's a safety thing. They don't
Where they don't
have
go up and down.
They don't go up and down now.
Say what?
Yeah, a lot is different.
That's what somebody was
from
saying.
when we had our kids before.
I think
Right.
I'd be looking for an old one.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I'll be able to get the kid out of the
Another
bed.
thing
I
that
don't know.
you
No, I think Jared just needs to step up. I
Yeah.
think that's really
Yeah.
it.
Well,
I mean,
he says he's going to keep working from home. I'm like,
I
that's
can.
There
pretty
you go,
cool.
yeah.
until the kid's born, then I'm going back to the office. But
Come on.
yeah, but you pointed
but
out
who's going to be the one that gets up at 2 a.m. to
Oh, I'm sure
you know,
it'll be me.
Oh,
put
that's
a
her.
bottle in it? you
Well,
know?
I'm hoping to breastfeed, so.
Well, you can put that milk in a bottle too,
Yeah,
so
but-
that he
That's
can get
what
up
the
and
pump's
share the
But the
duties.
middle of the night
that's where we get the good
feedings
pump.
are the ones you want to do breastfeeding because you don't have to warm it up. It's already warm.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. I
so-
guess you know.
Well, you had said that this time around you wanted to kind of get a little bit nicer stuff. We didn't always get the nicest
Oh, we
things
got-
before because
yeah.
we were young and broke and whatever. So let's step it up a little this time. And I kind of agreed with that. Like, yeah.
I mean, we're not going to go
Well, within
crazy.
reason, right?
Well,
Certain
then
things
We're not gonna
I
go
went
crazy.
shopping and
Oh my
holy
God.
fuck.
It's
Yeah.
so
Strollers
expensive.
and car seats are
Oh,
so
everything's
goddamn
so
expensive.
expensive.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Well, maternity clothes. I'm
Oh, yeah.
trying to get some.
Well, and
I'm
what
really
used to be
short
a-
too, so that's a challenge to find short maternity clothes. But
Yeah. I can
Now
imagine.
instead of the little cheapo plastic audio monitor, now
Oh,
it's a
right.
fancy video monitor.
Why
and
wouldn't
all
you?
this
I mean,
shit.
come on, man. Why wouldn't you
What?
just get like a
Just tell
webcam?
me.
well, I know a Ring doorbell.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
or
lot of
another-
those solutions.
Yeah, there's a lot of
little-
ways to do it
there
now
are.
that are probably cheaper than a true baby
Well,
monitor.
you had
Yeah.
someone recommend something.
Yeah,
that
somebody at
wasn't too
work
much.
recommended a company called Wise, WYZE.
I've heard of them.
It's
Don't
like
tell people.
$20 for
Well,
a
hack
monitor.
in and spy on our
But
baby.
there's some like shady. They're made in China and they like route the video feed to a server in China before it comes back to the Amazon
yeah, that's
cloud
kind
and
of
shit.
creepy.
I know.
What's
It's like,
the harm in
well,
that? I mean, they're watching a
'cause,
baby.
man,
We make cute
China's
kids.
our enemy, man.
I agree. You got good looking
And I can
kids,
say
yeah.
that because we don't have a lot of listeners in China, but
Right.
there's real reason to be nervous about what they're doing
Right.
when it comes to spying. I know a lot of people don't care and they
Did you
blow
hear
it
about
off.
these pills that are coming from China? Not pills, seeds.
No.
So apparently, there's been a bunch of people. We'll have to look this up. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't know enough about it. I just heard about it today. A bunch of people have received packages from China, and on the label, because they have to come through customs, it says it's earrings. But when they open it up, it's actually seeds. They don't know
Okay.
what kind of fucking seeds they are.
What?
Can't hear about the shit on. No one in the media talks about this shit.
Okay.
I don't know.
Then what?
Is it? But nobody's ordering this shit, and I think
Wow.
it started. Where was it that they?
It's not just mislabeled.
I think it was in
packages or something?
Utah. Was like where it first started. There was a couple in Utah, and they have like real strict agricultural laws or some shit like that. So it's like a big
It's
deal.
some plant that like terrorizes our corn supply.
Well, it could be
and
that,
all that.
or it could be that it's like maybe it's seeds for those little baby corns that you find in Chinese food. You know, because I don't know
Like what
where
he
those
eats in
fuckers
bed.
grow.
Those are delicious. by the
Those
way.
are. They're amazing. But I don't know why they grow them. I don't know how do you.
We need to order
The
earrings.
thing
apparently.
that he eats in bed.
Yeah, the little tiny piece of corn.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But it's like I don't know where those grow. So maybe that's what it's for. It's because whenever they take over our country, they want to make sure they have all their food here. They can grow it all here, so they can have all. They can
already
have
got
kung pao chicken.
General Tso's.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's probably not even really Chinese food.
I think it
there's a whole documentary about
Yeah.
it. It's awesome.
But
You should watch
it's
it.
a completely Americanized Chinese
they
food,
did
right?
say it kind of came from something over there, but it's not like a thing that everyone in China eats. It's definitely Americanized, but
Yeah.
it did originate, I think, in
Do you know
China.
that cashew chicken was created in Springfield, Missouri?
I've heard that.
One of
Isn't
my-
that crazy?
Yeah, a former colleague who I wasn't really a great fan of, but we were at a happy hour and she said something about that she was actually from Springfield, Illinois, and I was like, so look at that. And I thought that I forget what I said, but I thought the only thing worth a damn that came out of Springfield was cashew chicken. Now I learned this.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, did we beat the baby to death, so to speak?
Never shake
God,
a
I hope not.
baby.
I think
No,
there'll be more to come on that. I
there
mean, things
will
are
be.
going to advance
Yeah.
here.
Well,
and-
Jared's going to a urologist.
Right. So I have an
couple
appointment
weeks.
with an actual
Right.
do it
degree
again?
certified urologist. to get it done again.
This is what like I have this secret hope, and it just makes me laugh. Is that you're going to be a medical phenomenon, and they're going to be like, we need to have our students come in and like
Check out your sack.
You need to have
everyone's gonna-
sex with as many of
No,
these
no, no,
women
no,
as
no.
Oh, wait.
Dude.
No?
No,
It's not
they're just-
required to inspect your seminal
They're
vesicle.
just there's just going to be a room full
Right.
of
Yeah,
students.
that's
like
what you hope.
you're going to
Thanks.
be a
Thanks
test
a lot.
subject because it's just crazy. You never hear this.
Well, you are the one in a million, and so yeah,
It
I never
kind of is. I
got
think.
to my point. What I was saying earlier is like the people that I've told that like because like I was on that cruise yesterday. There's people that don't know you, and I didn't use your names or whatever. But I was like, oh yeah, he's friends of ours.
Yeah.
They were almost out of babies. They babies were out of
nest. We
empty
see
nest,
it.
and now they got a baby on the way, and
Yeah.
he had and they're like, wow, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, get this, he had a vasectomy 16 years ago. They're like, oh, she fucking cheated.
Yeah.
And every
Oh,
one of
yeah.
them was like,
That's
there's no
the
fucking
first
way.
I
instinct
told
everybody
him
goes
as
to.
soon as he got his results from the doctor, which said he had a high semen count. I'm like, you please go tell all of your friends
That I'm
Yeah.
not.
because
hua.
right.
Yeah.
It's
When
so
this
funny
kid
too.
comes out Mexican or something, we're going to...
Because no one was saying that to me, but I know that you just have
You
to
know
know
they're
people
thinking
are
it.
thinking
People have
it.
to
But
think that.
what I said, I think if you knew her, you would think otherwise.
I
Because
mean,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think
but
you're.
you never know with
Well,
people. I
you
mean,
never know.
I'm happy because everyone I've talked to about that, they're like, "Oh, nobody would think that about you." I'm like, "Well, I'm glad that people think
Well, because
that,
you're
but-
kind of. I don't want this to sound bad, but you're not the most outgoing, super
Are
confident.
you saying I don't? Are you saying I
I
don't
can't
still
see you
have
going
it, Ryan?
I'm not saying that. I'm not. I don't see you going out and,
She
and
gets
like
hit on when she does go out.
trying to
though,
find
so.
a new dick. I don't see you doing that. I think you got other things going on. You're more worried about like how much kale you can consume and
Quinoa, yeah.
Well, anyway,
that
yeah.
and essential oils.
But you know,
Well,
you
I did go in and get
right.
checked,
You never know other people's stories, so
Right.
of course
and
No,
I
I hear you.
tested positive. They said I had a high count.
High count.
Which I think just means it's not low. There's no
Right.
middle normal. It's
I
low
guess.
or high.
I guess.
But it should have been fucking low. It should have been
It should have
nothing.
been.
So they
zilch,
just
but-
counted them. They didn't say like not only is it high, but these motherfuckers were active as
Right.
hell. These
Which honestly, I said I'm kind of glad if that's the case. That means that maybe it's like extra healthy and not like, oh, this one just made it through.
So
So,
I have to share it again here because last time we did with Bill here, we weren't talking about this yet,
Right.
And I
We
said-
were
what did
not
I
out
say?
of it yet.
That I was like, this baby is you got to come up with a name that's for a survivor because this motherfucker, the one sperm, I assume
Right.
it was one guy, right, or gal, right? The one sperm, he swam through a kinked hose that had been cut in half at one point, so barely,
Cauterized
found
at
a
the
way to
end.
climb together. And one little spermy dude found his way through that fucked up tunnel, and he's like, "Holy shit, I made it! They're never gonna believe
we're gonna
this."
name this kid
to a geriatric woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he was disappointed when he got there? He's like, "Seriously, come on!
Well,
You know how hard it was to get here."
yeah. So when you kind of had a feeling for a few weeks that you might be pregnant, and I kept blowing it off
sure.
like, "Nuh-uh,
I mean,
no way."
I think I was more in denial, but you always have it in the back. Well, I always had it in the back of my head, and so we were like looking up symptoms, and so we thought.
So we kept saying that menopause is the next phase of life for an aging woman, and there's something
I'm a little
called
young for that, but
perimenopause or premenopause that can last about 5 years, and it can start around you're about to turn 40. So we started looking up symptoms for perimenopause, and a lot of them are the same as pregnancy symptoms.
Right.
And you were experiencing a lot of these things, and I'm like, that's what it is. You're getting close to menopause. There's no way my
he was
vasectomy
in some
reversed.
serious denial.
I mean,
so was I.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
I was too, but
you had a vibe that it was real.
And so I told him, I'm just going to get a test to ease our minds.
No, it didn't work.
4 tests later, and we were like, fuck.
So when did you tell the kids?
They told them the same day we told you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you keep that? I mean, you guys had to have been freaking out. Like,
oh, yeah.
So it was like a
We
Friday.
We found out on a Friday.
When you took just a store-bought test.
Right. And then I
took
a couple more.
Another, total of 4 over that weekend.
Right.
Through Sunday.
Different brand. Yeah.
And then you made an appointment.
And then I made an appointment.
Monday.
I went in Monday for blood work. Because at first they were like, because they asked why we needed an appointment. I was like, well, I got several positive.
Yeah, plus it's during COVID. They don't want to let just anybody in.
Right. I was like, well, we got several positive pregnancy tests. And they're like, okay, well, we usually don't see patients until, I can't remember what it was.
It was like you have to have missed your period by 8 weeks or something like that.
I think it was like 8
and we were
weeks.
like, well,
and I was
that.
like, okay, but just can I get a blood test? Because we want confirmation here.
Yeah.
We want to know for sure. And they're like, okay, can you come in today? I was like, we'll drop everything we're doing and we will come in. And so, we went in and we got the blood work. And then they called us that night and told us. And
but when did we...
And then we went the next day.
But when did we tell the kids?
We went the next day and had the appointment.
The ultrasound.
And then we came home. And when we saw that, there was... So we told the kids. We wanted to tell them first. And then Riley...
Carter just shook his head and smiled.
He just kept laughing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So Riley...
that'd be my response, too.
Riley was like, you have to tell so-and-so and so-and-so because she wanted to tell people.
Right.
So I was... we got a little pressured into that, but...
It was hard to keep it from very many people.
I think you told more people than I did.
Well,
I wanted to keep it
but
down.
But a lot of the people
I
told are not plugged into our... It was like people I work with who don't know anybody.
They're not in the social circle where you risk other people.
I definitely did, especially after we told family and stuff. I was telling more people just because it would be like I'd run into someone and I know I'm not going to see them for another couple months, and they're going to be pissed that I didn't tell them.
There were certain people we wanted to tell in person.
What's funny is there's people that I guess don't realize that we're as good of friends as we are, and they're like, "Did you hear?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I think it's kind of funny,
right?
Yeah.
It's all good, man. It's exciting stuff. I mean, I've told Tammy, I'm like, I kind of can't wait because I don't want my kids to have any babies anytime soon, but. I like babies.
That's the response we've gotten from everyone. They're like, I'm so excited because it's not me.
Yeah.
Well, and most of our friends at this stage of life are done also. Their kids are younger than ours, but they're done. Their kids are like 7 or 8,
Right.
And they're not having any more either. And so the notion of having another baby around is so exciting to them, but it isn't theirs.
And they don't have to raise it for the next 18 years.
Honestly, for the first week, I was pretty... Not bummed. Bummed is the wrong word, but
Well, it
I
just
wasn't
shifted
excited. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is going to be so incredible.
No,
I was
it took
like,
a little
what the
bit.
fuck? How did this happen?
Well, it's going to be
What the
completely
hell?
different than your first
so
two
different.
children. I mean, you're older, wiser.
Yeah.
You've got a different support structure around you, as a family, right? You've got it's going to be a completely different experience than raising either one of your other two kids. You've learned
It'll be
so
very
much
different.
through them that
Some of it will be very much the same, but some of
Right.
it is going to be so different.
Oh yeah,
And just social expectations are different now. Technology's different.
right.
I mean, just so much. We have a fucking dog now that we didn't have before.
Kind of even like with just telling people. We just told people in person with our other kids. There wasn't social media then.
Right. And now there's like gender reveal parties and like, oh my God. Which we're not going to do. I don't want to.
I don't really either.
Is there going to be a shower or like a
That's
like
another
a man
thing. Like,
shower?
what's the expectation there? I would say no. My first instinct is like, no way. I'm not going to have a bunch of people buy us shit. But then everyone we've talked to is like, oh yeah, you got to have a shower.
I'm like, I'm not throwing myself.
We're totally going to have a shower. I'm like,
Here,
really?
let me say this.
I don't know.
If you do a co-ed shower,
Thank you, by the way. For
no problem. I will not be a part of a co-ed shower. But if you want to do like a bro shower,
shower,
then I'm in. I'll
Why
do
wouldn't
that.
you do a co-ed shower?
Because I don't want to deal with all.
Why not?
All you broads.
roads with your Snickers and your diapers and
Yeah, I mean, we'll get you some stuff, and I'm also not. I'm not going to be a party to any diaper cakes or diaper thing. No, I mean, if you need fucking diapers, I'll buy you some fucking diapers. But I'm going to buy you something that a father wants. Like I'll buy you a couple rounds of golf or something like that, or buy
all right,
another.
we're having a shower. I don't know.
Stuff to get him out of the house, Ryan.
things that dads really need, not things that the baby needs.
Right.
That's another thing too. Like my sister had something kind of like this. She had a gap between her two daughters of, I guess, like 7 years. So she had another baby shower whenever Mallory came along.
Right.
And I remember her saying, she's like, I kind of feel guilty because like I already had one, but it's been 7 fucking years. All that shit is not legal
we don't
anymore.
have
I
any
am
of
now,
that
but
stuff.
like my daughter, she's gonna be 18.
Yeah.
Like we really don't have anything, but
Yeah.
it's still weird to like expect that's gonna happen. Like people are
but
like,
you should still celebrate.
people are like,
this,
have you made a registry? I'm like, I feel weird doing that. Get us stuff. I don't know. I think it's weird. But
Well, we were at my nephew's graduation party, and they had, a tent and food and whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be 61 when I have the same party for this next kid. I'll be 61.
It seems like not that long
Carter
ago we
will
were
be
talking
39.
about, like, dude, you're going to be like 45 and all your kids are going to be out of the house.
Yeah,
I know.
We were just having that
Yeah.
conversation.
we were always the young parents.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna be the old
We
parents.
were so
I really
close.
think that's what the difference between my attitude and my reaction and what a lot of other people would be is because our mindset was so down that path of like, we are at the next phase of like, we'd go out whenever we wanted. We'd go out to eat.
Right.
If we wanted to go see a movie, we'd do that.
And it kind of made it, we always said, we started when we were really young. And we were like, we never had our youth. I definitely didn't. He went off to college for a couple years, so he had a little bit. But, I mean, we started really young. So I basically, out of high school, had a baby. So I basically started out my adulthood raising children. So I never had that time. But I always thought to myself, but we started so young that we're still going to be young when we're done.
Then you can, and you can go do that soy royal oats thing that a lot of people do in their 20s.
Right.
You're going to do that in your 40s.
And we'll do it when we're,
Now we'll do it in our 60s.
And now we have to wait another 18 years. So,
Right.
well, and I'm turning 40 this year. I had plans.
Yeah. To
I was going to
get your drink on.
I was going to have a good time.
Not now.
Well, just wait until. Well, now you got to wait until you're done nursing. It's like you
know.
can't even.
Like-
You
And
can't
we're
even
going
wait
to
till
need
the
a
baby's
year and a half.
babysitter.
Yeah.
We do
Yeah.
apparently have a lot of babysitters.
Maybe we can hire you a
Everybody
wet
says
nurse,
they'll,
and that way you can drink, and the baby
Well,
will
you
still
just pump
get.
and dump. That's what you do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just do that. But.
Yeah, I remember all that shit. Tammy did all that stuff. She was a milk producing machine, man. It was ridiculous. It was like it was. What she didn't have to dump it because of drinking.
Right.
It's just like
she just
that's
had
too much.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
Did she freeze it?
We did. Yeah.
I wasn't super successful with breastfeeding before, but I'm really hoping to because I'm older and wiser now, and I'm gonna have better equipment, like as far as pumps and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
I'm watching The Office again. Not again. I've never watched it
Really?
all the way.
What?
You know, I'd seen episodes here and there, but I never watched it regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And I told TJ, I was like, because he asked me, he's like, why are you watching that? And I'm like, never seen it. And he's like, you've never watched The Office? I'm like, I know all the pop culture references because I've seen videos on the internet, and you got to, right? Otherwise, you're just oblivious to it all. So, but it always kind of annoyed me. The show, I was like, and it still every once in a while, I'm like, I got to just fast forward this because they're so stupid. But it's very, very funny.
Right.
A couple things. Number one, Pam just caught what's her name using her breast pump in the bathroom, which is hilarious. So that made me think of this, but then also thinking of the dinner party when he's talking about getting a vasectomy and getting it reversed, and he's like, "You can only do this so many times. You can only put it through so much stress." It's hilarious.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah. Gosh, I want to know what are they gonna find down there? Like some cluster of
I hope
reattached whatever, or is it?
It's what's behind everybody's VCR, you know?
Right.
Rat's
It's a
nest
tangled
of
mess.
cables.
I hope that they can maybe somehow see how long it's been.
We're not going to carbon date the fucking
I don't know.
wound.
I mean, maybe they'll know how. I don't know if it's just barely hanging on or if it's I don't know.
I think it's amazing. I mean, as you've established, there's no shortage of sexual relations going on. So, how come now?
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I told him. I was like, why could this not have happened 10 years ago?
Right.
I mean,
Well, what I don't know is, did something reattach and it's more or
Almost
less
certainly,
permanently reattached, or was there a hole and just a little bit got through?
I think if you have a
where
high count,
this won't happen again.
Yeah. No, it sounds like they
I would
the two
assume.
ends found each other, and
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy.
When a vas deferens loves another vas deferens, they find a way to. Yep.
Oh,
we
It
still
is
got
crazy.
it, folks. After all these years.
yeah, you might. Yeah. So, when's your appointment to have that knocked out?
Yeah.
A couple weeks.
He's got a little time.
2.5 weeks or something like that.
But I'm hoping to take care of something too, so we have all of our bases covered next time.
Oh, right on. Well, good to know. Yeah, I think we might be sharing a little too much.
Good to know.
But yeah, make
Ryan-
sure
Ryan's
remove all
uncomfortable.
You
doubt.
can't be too careful.
Remove all doubt.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We thought we were good.
Yeah.
Riley keeps saying, because I'll be like, I'm pregnant. She goes, well, it's not my fault. It's your fault. And I'm like, well, technically.
Surprised she would say like, well, if you guys had stopped having sex with me in the house, these things wouldn't happen. I'm right down the hall. Rude.
It's good for kids to know that their parents still have sex.
I guess. I don't know. I don't want to think about my parents, ever in that regard. But did you ever walk in on your parents? Either of you?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Not that I'm aware
Yeah.
of.
My sister and I have talked about it a little bit that there were times that later on you realize oh yeah that was probably one of those times where you saw legs flying and blankets flipping and it's like oh okay yeah.
Something's going on here.
It happens. Everybody's human.
See, everybody's human, even parents.
My grandmother when she was
grandmas.
She was old. Old. 70s probably. And she had found a man that she was hanging around with at the church. She met this man, if I'm remembering correctly. And I don't remember the details of it. All I remember is her saying something about well, I have needs too. And I remember my sister and my mom oh, God, no. I was probably too young to catch it at the moment, but it's
for her.
Stuck in my head. It was like, oh, yeah, that's
for
gross
her.
as hell.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. It keeps you young.
I guess so. I don't know.
Hey, they're people too. Everybody,
Yeah.
I could tell Jarod, everybody poops.
Yeah,
Everybody has sex.
Yeah. Well, not Jarod, though.
He does, because sometimes he has to go, and
That's an interesting.
I'm like, everybody poops,
nugget of-
Jared. It's
It
okay.
always
It's an
comes
interesting
back
question.
to
So
that.
you're working at home now. You're no longer constrained to the office where you
Right.
can't use the bathroom regularly. Do you have a more regular schedule of bathroom etiquette nowadays?
Yeah, I would say I pee a little more than I wouldn't pee at work unless I really, really had to.
Right. And so, but since you're home,
Since I'm home, if there's any urge at all, then I'll just go. But generally, I don't go any more than normal.
Maybe
I
that's
don't need
why the vas deferens healed itself, is because you were holding your pee for so
Right.
long.
It
It
some
was
pressure
some
was building
pressure
up.
that was who knows, man? You never know. The scientists will have to figure this out after.
I can't wait till they have
it's all
what
said
they
and
say
done.
to see what they say.
There's a lot of questions I have that we need to revisit now that we know that this little bundle of joy is coming. I mean, we have the vaccination topic.
Right.
That we don't have to cover that now. That's
I
another
know,
day,
I know.
another story.
We have the bar. Will you take this kid into stubborn
babies
German?
in the bar, right?
I guarantee I would happily bet money that he will take the kid into stubborn
I
German.
won't. Now you might.
No,
Follow me in there,
I
but
bet you will
I
take.
I
won't
could
do
see him taking it like a place that
way.
serves food. I could see,
his stubborn German is his place.
but they don't serve
he'll go to
food there.
I'm not
Shorty's, and
taking
that's
a
what he
little
does now.
baby in there. No.
I bet you might. I think
We'll
that
see.
you've
How-
always said it
How
because
big
back
is
on the
big
podcast.
enough? You say a little baby.
I
like,
mean, I don't even want to take.
he wouldn't
I
take
don't
a
like seeing
10-year-old.
6-year-olds in there.
yeah,
But I
got
think
to be able
it's
to cut their
because
own meat in order to.
I think
Yeah.
it's because he didn't have that.
No, that's not why.
Okay.
I treasure a place like that for what it is, a haven from little
The
annoying
children,
kids
yeah.
or people who are being loud about this or that or whatever. It's like it's a place to go drink bourbon.
I would like
and,
to list off all
and
of the
good
things
beer.
that Jarod has said never to.
Right.
Yeah, we will never have a dog. We
will
were
never
never
have a
going to
dog.
have another kid. My daughter
I
will never
will
be
never-
a cheerleader.
I hate beer.
I won't.
Yeah.
I don't drink beer.
Right. I mean, last time he had a baby, he didn't even he drank
Yeah.
Zima
Didn't even drink
Right.
or some shit. I don't know. I mean,
Smirnoff Ice.
whatever. Same thing. Right.
But yeah,
A lot has changed.
A
for
lot has
sure.
changed.
By the way, you've heard of getting iced, right? Where
Yes.
someone will hand you a Smirnoff Ice and
You
you're
have to
supposed to
chug
drink
it.
it in shame.
No, I haven't seen.
You've never
that.
heard of this? It's probably because you've been sheltered from it because of your
Right.
love of Smirnoff Ice. But anyway, Father's Day, I believe, was my nieces iced me. I think it was delicious.
did you get
you know.
heartburn like nothing else?
No, it was
Oh
my first
God.
drink of the day. I had showed up
Yeah.
to Father's Day, and it was like, "Hey, here," and I was like, "All right," and I chugged it. And it's on video somewhere.
We
they
were
are
we
good.
were in a bar once, and I was drinking one, and we were going to the next bar, and so I was like, "Well, I gotta finish this before we leave." So I was chugging it. I thought I was gonna die because I had such
Yeah,
heartburn.
It is. It feels acidic
Very
for sure.
Yeah.
this one was pretty tasty,
it was
but I was
bad.
like, and I think that's the first time I've ever had one. I was like,
Really?
all right, I get it. I mean,
Oh,
it's like
really?
Kool-Aid.
You had
You were
never
making
had
fun
one?
of Jarod
No,
all these years.
They're
I
even
drink
better,
this.
like when you pour them over ice. Like they're tastier than.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to drink, it's typically beer. I don't, margaritas. I do like my margaritas. We've become margarita snobs. I told you about
Yeah.
that. We've been a bit of a snooty margarita drinkers. But that's what COVID does to you. You
Sure.
start to experiment. She started making something called, the fuck's it called? It's with grapefruit juice. It's got a name. Shit.
It's not like an old fashioned or something.
No, it's like a margarita,
Oh,
but
okay.
instead of, I don't know, you put grapefruit juice in it. It's got a name. I'll think of it. Anyway, but yeah, so she's like just
Yeah.
experimenting though. Like, well, I like
we
this.
experimented too,
Yeah.
not with drinks. though.
Not with drinks. Not anymore. Not for a while.
That's okay. I'm not too. Except for my birthday. That's the only time I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to just celebrate like the half, like 40 and a half or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not gonna be the same. It was gonna be epic.
You think?
It was.
We'll do 41. There's even more of a story there.
Yeah, but nah, I'm
People will
gonna
be
have
like,
a little
why are you
kid.
such a big to do for your 41st birthday? You're like, well,
But I'm gonna have a
funny
little
story.
kid then. Then it's gonna be weird.
Funny
I
thing
don't know.
happened on the way to my 40th birthday. I got knocked up.
Yeah. I did have plans. I don't throw parties for myself, but I'm like, I think I'm gonna throw myself a 40th birthday party.
Well, why wouldn't your husband do that for you?
Because I know what I want.
Well, why don't you just tell him what you
Well,
want?
I was telling him. Well, I was kind of getting Bill in on it too, because Bill,
Yeah,
Bill
It's gonna
actually
be a
deliver
group
on
effort.
he
it.
would
Yeah.
actually help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would just be like, whatever.
Jared, yeah. But
Right on.
It's all different now.
We'll still do something. It just won't be the same.
Everything.
You'll have to be.
So
It's a baby shower.
You'll be the DD.
Have you thought about like bringing this baby into this
fucked up
crazy
world?
world? Yeah.
You know, 9/11 happened. You had a child, very young child at the time too. Mm-hmm. You know, TJ was a year and a half or whatever. I mean, Carter was about the same, I imagine, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember on that day, 9/11, watching the news that night, watching this little baby in a pumpkin seat or in a little bouncy seat, and just being distraught. That like, what have I done? This world is fucking hateful and violent.
I think I was too young and naive to worry about that stuff then.
Yeah.
But like I think about it now.
Then we
sure.
had the patriotic movement that came after, where we all gathered together to fight terrorists. Now we all hate
like
each
that will
other.
ever happen again, but you know, obviously it didn't bother me too much because I had 2 more kids after that.
Right.
So. But it's the things that go through your mind whenever you have these little babies.
I thought about it now. There's so many more things I think about now. There's the worries of things that can go wrong because I didn't think about that stuff then. But then I've seen friends of mine have problems, and you know things have happened with pregnancies and whatever, and so of course I worry about that now. I feel really guilty, and I know it's not my fault, but I still feel guilty about it.
It's my fault.
We have friends that can't have kids.
Oh yeah.
And I have that guilt, like we're trying not to do that.
Right.
And we still
There's people that try forever and then go spend a shitload of money
and I have that guilt. And I felt bad when we
all they had
told
to do was
those
call
people.
me, and I could have just
I used to make the joke with Tammy that all I had to do was look at her the wrong way, or if she slipped in the shower, she might get pregnant. But because it was way too easy for us, and there are people that struggle. Well, my sister's one of them. I mean, she had her first daughter and tried for 7 years until finally had success again, and a handful of failures in the middle there, and it's troubling. It's not fun, obviously, for those folks. So I get you on the guilt thing there, you know, and
I shouldn't. About it too. I know I shouldn't and I don't feel like we're gloating about it, but it does cross my mind. You know, it makes me feel bad that.
Yeah, you should. I mean, it's
I
just
know, but
the way it goes.
That's how I roll, though.
Yeah, well, so maybe those people that can't have babies easily, maybe they got height, and so they should feel guilty that you're short.
Actually.
I love it. Yeah.
And if
you can't reach over to get your baby out of the crib with the side that doesn't go down.
And if they really want one, I know a guy.
No, I don't think you want a father anymore.
No, I'm saying they can have the one.
Oh yeah, he's already shitting on this child.
Give my kid away. This is my kid.
It's fine. We got 2.
You couldn't have just got another puppy.
I know, God.
That's all right.
We are kind of worried about that. Our dog is not used to being around kids, little babies.
She's not violent though. It's not like she's going to chew its face off or something.
She's been around little kids before where they've been messing with her,
toddlers.
and she'll kind of like
snap.
She gets not real aggressive, but she kind of gets pissy, and she's like, "Get off me," you know.
Yeah, because she's not used to someone that small being in her business,
right?
You know,
well, time to put her down.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping that you know
we're trying to. I told you earlier, we're trying to break her of barking.
Did she bark when you got here?
She did a lot.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
but then he put the collar on her, and she was remarkably better. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Where is she now?
She's upstairs, I think.
Yeah. Probably because I'm talking too much. Yeah, their dog hates me. But it's all right. Whatever.
So we got to break the dog of barking. We got to go get a $400 stroller car seat. We got to get...
There's a lot of things.
So much stuff.
You know, that's... Tammy used to talk about this, too, that, like, her mom told us, like, when we bought all the stuff when TJ was a baby, that she brought Tammy home from the hospital in her lap.
Right.
Actually, I think she said that she sat her on the floorboard of the car because that was safer than holding her in her lap. A newborn baby. Right. Just said, here you go. I'm going to put you on the floor of the car.
They won't let you check out unless you have a certified, legal, whatever
Well,
car
and you
seat.
can't use it multiple times. I don't even know if you can use it for a second kid, but they say one-time use. Like, I mean, not one time, one kid use, pretty much.
We used ours for all 3 kids.
Well, I know. I told him, I was like, I'm sure we were unsafe with our children whenever they were little.
Car seats don't even pass
whatever
certification
like the thrift
anymore.
store I work at, we don't take them because They're not up to code.
That you're supposed to have your kid in a seat until they're like 7 years old or something like that?
I'm technically still supposed to be in a car seat.
Rear facing or front facing? I'm not sure.
I probably could be front facing, but I still need to be in the back seat.
It's crazy. It's like 65 pounds,
it is a lot.
5'2" or something like that. But yeah, they expect you to go a long time.
So yeah, everything's different. It's just crazy. But and we'll have
it's going to be interesting.
Technology. We always, we're those judgy people who see the kids at
we always
restaurants
make fun of people when
the kids are on their iPads.
Has a tablet.
Like, really, you can't just sit here for 5 minutes.
Where I thought you were going with that is more than that is that you have this technology to document your child's life.
Yes,
like when our firstborn with Carter and TJ. I mean, they were born at the beginning of digital cameras.
I documented a lot of that stuff, though.
Well, sure, but
it's just a different way.
It's not the same way. We didn't have Facebook where every single thing, every little snot bubble got captured on. And that's fine. It's great.
It was good.
I wish that I had that shit because we have so many pictures that just got lost. Mm-hmm. They're on a
I
drive
would say
somewhere.
Carter and maybe TJ was more film camera. Riley was digital camera.
Carter was all film until, I got a digital camera when Riley was like 6 months old or something like that. So, and then I went all digital, pretty much.
This kid's going to be TikTok all the way.
Well, and I have good equipment, and
sure.
Man,
you're gonna have this kid's gonna be in like wearing a suit, dressed as a sunflower, have photo shoots every day, all day. You know what I think it was is that she just really, she wanted to be home with another baby again.
I just needed a new subject.
She's, Riley's going to be leaving her at some point. She's
the dog's
I'm going to need
Instagram
some more
was
friends
too slow.
at some point. How do I accomplish this?
Yeah.
I have a baby. Then I can have new moms as friends.
But
you're going to be the old lady of all these moms.
Listen, Ryan. Remember, this is Jared's fault. This is the one thing we actually get to blame on him.
I don't know. Takes two to tango.
I still say
I thought I was
something
fine.
else going on.
You thought you were tango.
I thought we were good.
Well, he did too, arguably.
He did too. Right? I know. I try not to blame him too much, but
yeah.
It's more his fault than my fault. Let's just say that.
So, have you talked to Dr. Pickett?
No,
he doesn't practice here anymore.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
He's over in
got ran out of here because of too many failed vasectomies,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I would like to know his numbers.
But we've talked to several people who are freaking out right now because they had theirs from him too. And
just even
anybody has just been like, what? That's a thing? That can happen? It's like,
you were looking something up, weren't you, where you can do like a home test?
Yeah, same way that you can do a pregnancy test at home, you can take a home.
I don't think you pee on it, though.
It's a whole different operation.
But you can do it at home, which is kind of nice. Yeah. And I'm telling all of you men out there, and ladies, if your man had a vasectomy,
get tested.
Get those checked.
You might as well.
Well, I'd be telling some women that have penises because nowadays women can have penises too. So,
right.
And if you happen to be a woman with a penis or a man, if you're a man with a vagina, then you don't have to worry about this. I don't think.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Might have to,
It's 2020.
All cells are different.
Yeah,
2020, anything can happen. So maybe if you have a vagina and you're a man, you should probably go get it checked too. Who knows at this point?
It's so funny. Everybody, you see all these memes like 2020, so crazy. And then we get this news. I'm like, oh my God, it really is.
But this baby will be a 2021 baby.
Yes.
Okay.
But we got shocked in 2020.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, it will be 2021. But
man,
which I'm also nervous about that. If there's another wave of COVID, it's
Wait,
gonna.
You worried you're gonna have another one?
No, just
Well, you get bored, Ryan. And
so here's a question. So you had a C-section with the other two. You plan to have the same procedure done again? We're not going to do it in a swimming pool with no in the living room or anything like that.
They recommend that since I've had two, that I should have another one. So I'm kind of.
She doesn't want. She wants a natural.
I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know. I think
they are pretty adamant about.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like
not doing a C-section.
You've heard about these people that do it in the swimming pool, though, right? They get a fucking blow up pool in their living room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it.
I mean, I get it. I guess it's the beauty of childbirth, but that's fucking gross.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been in there.
Yeah.
You've seen what happens.
No, he hasn't.
You've never stood in the room when birthing
I had
happens?
2 C-sections.
Well, yeah, but
I
you
was
see
in
all
the
the shit that
room.
comes out of you.
I had 2 C-sections. He was.
There's still stuff.
It
Did you
wasn't-
not
it's
see
not-
the shit that came out of her?
It's not the same.
Well, true, but all the same stuff has to come out.
Yeah. It comes out one way or the other.
We're talking about the placenta here, right?
Yes.
That
Right.
comes out.
Yes, but it's different. It's not the
It's
same.
not quite.
And
just
he's
like,
more distracted then because the baby's out, and I'm
Yeah.
So you've never had a doctor tell you to watch your shoes?
no.
happened.
He's never
No.
been. In,
My wife's going to kill me for
Watch
saying
your
that.
shoes.
But,
I've saw my sister give birth to all 4 of hers, and then I documented for somebody another one. So I've seen 5,
You've been around a lot of it.
and
yeah.
I think it's amazing.
yeah, you better get that camcorder fired. I mean, you can
I
do
told
Scorsese
him-
on this shit.
I
Yeah.
told him he better do because I would if I could, but I'm gonna be busy.
Or do you do more of a Quentin Tarantino effect on this?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
do you do Scorsese,
I don't-
Tarantino?
and I don't know these days if they
They
might
might not
have
even let me
policies
in
where
there.
they don't. Well, they'll probably let you in, but I don't know if they'll let you video.
Why not?
I don't know because
Well,
lawsuits and everything. I don't know,
Yes, maybe.
but
See, but if you had
Maybe.
C-sections, that's always going to be like a PG-13 production. right?
honestly, I can't watch it though. That's gross. I can't
Well,
watch the
I
incision.
documented
I'd rather watch
the first
other
one, and camera was set up behind me by the window in the hospital room, and it's completely PG. You don't see anything. You hear a lot of things. You don't see anything. And so then I got a little bit more creative with Chuck, and I went handheld. Went full production, and that is not for the weak of heart. You know?
Chuck hasn't seen that one.
I don't think we've seen it. It's like it's somewhere, and I'm afraid to even get that tape out. And then the third time, I forgot the camcorder altogether. So poor O doesn't have video, but I think he's okay with it.
Well,
Yeah.
I know when we were I was probably like 10 years old, and we went over to my aunt and uncle's house after they had their first kid, and we watched the birth video, and I was old enough to know like how things worked, but was definitely not like
You'd never
intimately
seen a
familiar
vagina.
with
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, and it was like it was full on, straight on, zoom in,
Really?
watching all this just terror splatter onto the floor.
And just sitting there with your aunt sitting
With
on the
the-
couch next to you.
Oh my, yeah.
I'm like, that's your vagina.
And my brother and I are just like, what in the hell are we? What? Oh my god! It was so awkward and uncomfortable.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I never had that. You made me think of when my cousin got brought home that he still had the umbilical cord, that little fucking knot,
Right.
and it came off while we were there. And it's like, I mean, it does. It happens.
Right, right,
You know.
Got to come off.
And I
Aren't
just
there some
remember it
people
like,
that,
it was like laying on the
that?
baby blanket, and I picked it up, and I was like, "What's that?" Because I didn't know. Fuck, I was little, and my mom sort of was like, give me that, you don't want that. I mean, I was old enough to like hold.
gross.
I was like 5, maybe,
Right.
You know, so I didn't know what the
Yeah.
fuck I had in my hand. I was like, "Ooh, what's that? That looks gross." You know?
It's probably not the grossest thing
Is that a
you
milk
picked
dud?
up.
Wait,
but
no.
nasty.
A raisin.
Yeah.
Okay. That's enough baby talk. People are tired of hearing about it. Wow, that's
What the hell's going on?
freaking
This
me
is
out right now. Someone
weird
is
shit. How
beating
long-
at
we
our
good here?
back
What are we doing?
basement. We're 52 minutes in.
Oh, that's a short one.
Yeah.
We want to keep going. I don't know what you got to talk about.
I mean, we can wrap this up. Shut the door.
You hear crickets now. We got people walking in the
Riley.
basement door.
Ladies and
The
gentlemen.
production quality of this podcast has gone
Yeah.
to shit.
Do you want to know how fast Chuck drove?
Oh, I could probably look there.
Oh, never mind.
Very good.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. Maybe we'll do another one. Who knows? But we got lots of baby talk, and
Yeah. Missed a
it's
good
gonna
one.
be a crazy time in this household coming up.
When you leaving.
Yeah, she's moving down here.
Yeah, Riley's moving to
Really?
the basement.
She's gonna have to hear all our podcasts.
Right.
Poor girl. I feel like you should just give this up to her.
No way, man.
Poor girl.
I mean, I know you just got it the way you want it, but I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, she's going to have that room. And you're not going to give her like a little living room to
No,
have to
she
Yeah,
herself?
doesn't
she'll
get a
come.
living
She'll
room to
take over.
herself.
Trust me.
Yeah.
She tends to do that.
She already tried.
Yeah, just start taking this shit off the walls, painting things pink. It's all good.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Well, until next time.
Yeah.
It feels like we didn't do enough to wrap it up, but
Well, I don't know. Oh, well, we usually say a bunch of shit like, send us an email or...
Yeah,
if you
baby
want-
name suggestions.
No.
We'll take name
that's good,
suggestions.
yeah.
You can suggest, but I probably won't do.
You already got ideas? We didn't talk about that. Do you
We're
already got
not
ideas?
saying.
Yeah, but she's not
You-
telling
we're not-
me.
Okay,
don't
but
get
you
to
got
say.
things picked out? Like, you got
I-
narrowed down to like one or two?
I do.
She's definitely got like a girl picked out. We're not
definitely
sure on
like
a boy
the girl
yet.
name, the boy name. We're kind of.
I'm not even
sure.
thinking about it until we know.
Yeah, he
Then I'll
wants
give
to
it
know
thought.
what we're having for. So
Huh. All right.
So write in, tweet us.
But what if someone comes up with like a really great name? And you're like,
Maybe.
God damn it. Now that's a good one. I should probably go with that.
I scour the top lists, and if the name that I'm thinking about is on there, then I don't want to
If
name
it's
it
too
that.
common, yeah.
That's a
she
good
doesn't
call.
want it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want a weird name, but I don't want. And it's funny because both my kids' names now are kind of popular, but
But
they
there's no
weren't.
one in their class that has
They
that
weren't
name,
that
really.
popular whenever.
Is there anybody in your class that's Riley?
There is one
Is it?
other.
Boy or girl? Okay. Yeah, well, that's still pretty uncommon, yeah. So, like, we did kind of, we have very traditional names.
Right.
But there's no other Chucks, I don't think. Maybe there's a Charlie floating around, but not in his class, though.
Right.
There weren't any Olivers, and I don't think there's any in his class.
There,
But
it's
now,
pretty popular now.
Now it's pretty popular.
But
We were a
yeah.
trendsetter on that one.
Right.
And
I
then-
feel like we were with Carter. You
Yeah.
hear a lot of Carters now, but there weren't that
Right.
many.
Not as nothing. I don't think there's any as bad as Emma. And,
That's a really popular
And I
name.
know a few Emmas,
Right.
and I don't want to disparage any of them, but you won't always wonder, like, is it because of Friends? Like, did their parents name them Emma because
right.
of the baby in Friends?
Oh, right.
Ross and
Never
Rachel's
thought that.
baby.
Yeah.
Is it because of that, or was it before that? Did they already have it picked
Right.
out?
Right.
I think most of them say like, "Oh no, it has nothing to do with that." But it's like, well, there's a shit ton of you that are named.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
there are a lot
hear
of us.
some Chandlers now.
Yeah?
That was never a name you heard before, Friends. But
I wonder if Rosses are. There's a few Rosses floating
Yeah.
around out there too.
yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? Is there Phoebes? I wonder if there's probably
I mean,
fucking Phoebes.
I've heard of a couple of Phoebes. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's related to. Everything's related. Ties back
And
to
it's
Friends.
weird. There's Gunthers everywhere. I don't know.
Everywhere. That's the name that I was going to go.
Yeah, there you go.
We leaked it out. All right, let's wrap it up.
right.
Thanks for listening.
Where do they send their
wish
baby
us
name
luck.
suggestions? Like loadthispodcast@gmail.com, or they can @load this podcast on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook.
Yeah, and
with
we're
your baby
registered
name.
on Amazon at.
That's a real thing you probably need to work on. We need to be able to tweet out like, hey, if you want to,
We've got a GoFundMe page going.
you put your wish list out there on
Right.
Amazon and
Yeah.
just send it out. We'll just tweet it out or something like that.
All right.
We can do that.
Well, until we do that, I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm pregnant.
And get a
Oh,
load
that was
of this.
clever. What we're doing.
We are recording. That's what we're doing.
And you can hear me, or they can hear me.
Someone
Obviously,
can hear
you can hear me. You
I
don't
can
have.
see you on the
That's all that matters.
graph,
Right.
the bar. Yep.
Well, we've done some where we've recorded half an hour and nothing happened
right.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I imagine.
It's been a while since we've
has.
had that kind of.
And you've
technical
unplugged everything and
difficulty.
replugged everything in. So
Yeah, who knows if this is? Oh yeah, this was completely stripped down and reassembled when I
yeah.
switched.
What is that?
desks.
Is that a speaker?
That that's the other one of those.
Oh, okay. So you used to have them on the stands down here.
Yeah, and I was gonna keep them on the stands, kind of off to the side. It just took up a lot more space. Hi, we are recording,
He
but
doesn't allow me to have headphones anymore.
This'll
I
be an
don't get a
outtake.
chair. It's everything's changed.
Tell me about it.
my lovely wife has joined us. We do have an interesting conversation we could have. While
We
you're
haven't
here.
talked about it yet.
Okay, should we start?
Hey
Okay.
man, this is your baby.
Let's do this.
But pump.